Hello Stampin' Friends, I'm Darla Olson, owner and creator of Ink Heaven blog. I've been preparing for my Vintage Vogue card making class, and this is the Vintage Vogue stamp set. I really like this stamp set. It's and this is the clear mount version, in case you're not recognizing the case. The cases, the clear mounts come in a DVD size case, and the images are in the front of the case, full size. So this is the exact size that these stamps will stamp when you stamp them. And the side of the spine has the stamp name and small versions of the images on the side. You open the case up, and this is maybe just a little extra tip for you here. I save the rubber that surround my images, so that I can have these as a mask if I want to. And I don't save the foam, I just save that top layer of rubber. And then if I want to do some sponging and have this as a mask, as a background part of my stamping for my card, I have that in my case for me to use. These are the stamps themselves, and I have chosen to not put my vinyl labels on my cling foam. That was just a personal choice. These are the clear mount blocks that the stamps go on, and I'll show you a couple other ones when I have some of this stuff out of the way so you can see it a little better. But they're very nice blocks, and the clear mount cling foam, it clings really easily to the case, and it clings really easily to the clear mount block. So it's very sturdy. It doesn't move at all once it's clung onto there. Now, my personal choice in this was to not put the label onto the cling foam, because it seemed to me that the cling foam actually stuck to the clear mount block just a little bit better than the label did, the vinyl label. So, but you can see, if you have that vinyl label on your stamp, I can kind of cheat a little bit and show you how that would look. You can I'll put that rubber just behind the case there, and lay that clear block over there. And if you have that vinyl label on that stamp, you can just see that the label shows through that clear block really nice. It gives you a real nice image. So it's just, I felt that the rubber itself just stuck and clung to the block just a little bit better than that, but you may not feel that way. So what I opted to do was place my labels inside the case so I could see at a glance, and kind of have my stamps kind of in a nice, neat, orderly way, and I could see at a glance that they were all there and accounted for and not misplaced. So that was my my thoughts with that. So that's the stamp set that I'm using and using to prepare for my Vintage Vogue class. Here's several, just a few. We have quite a few of the wood blocks, or the clear mount blocks, and I can't remember just exactly how many we have. It was a lot. As I was preparing for my card making class with Vintage Vogue, I found that many of the cards that I was doing, I was liking this very big flower when I was using it. I was liking it cut out and mounted to the card, so that it had a little bit more texture and detail to it, rather than just being one-dimensionally stamped on the card. So I was cutting this out several times, and I'm not real fond of detail work. So I don't tend to do that a lot. That's why I love our coordinating punches, as I get sidetracked and chase a red ball here. But so I had this flower, and I was looking through my Sizzlets, and I saw the Birds and Blooms large flower Sizzlet, and I thought, oh my goodness, that sure looks like that flower would fit in there. I think I'm going to check it out and give it a try and see. And I checked it out, and it fit, so I was so super excited. So here's my little tip for you. If you don't like the tedious work of cutting out your images, you can get this Birds and Blooms Sizzlet set and use it with your Big Shot. And you can go through your scraps and cut out a bunch of them and just throw them in your case with your stamp set, and whenever you want to stamp with this big flower and have it cut out, you have things already cut out for you. So here's my Sizzlet, and I'm going to sandwich it. I got my cutting mat for my Big Shot, one of them on the bottom. My Sizzlet here, one of the scraps that I've pulled out of my little scrap folder, and I'm going to place my cutting mat on top of that. Place your sandwich on top of your multi-purpose platform, and then you run that through your Big Shot. And after you get that run through your Big Shot, then you have your embosslet, your large flower from the Sizzlet, excuse me, not the embosslet. So we have our large flower. Now I have found that if you do this on a darker background so that it pops out, you can see it a little bit better. And I just took mono adhesive, put a little bit in the center of my scrap piece of basic black cardstock. I took my finger and just kind of tackied it up a little bit so my flower would not be hard to pull off. I have my flower stuck to that, and so that's ready. So we'll set that aside for a minute. What we're going to do so we can position our flower correctly is we're going to use the Stamp-A-Majig. And the Stamp-A-Majig is a tool that is used for being able to place your images exactly where you want them. So there's the little guide, and then there is the clear plastic sheet. So what we do is we're going to take our clear plastic sheet, we'll set that down, we'll put our little guide in the corner of this plastic sheet, and we have our stamp. We're going to ink that up, and I'm going to ink it up using Melon Mambo. You can hear me inking that up there. And I'm going to take and I'm going to make sure that I have this right in the corner, because that's important. And I'm going to put my clear mount block in the corner of that guide, and I'm going to come and I'm going to bring that straight down, get that ink on that clear plastic sheet. So there you can see I have this flower on this clear plastic sheet. Now I'm going to bring back my Sizzlet large flower, and I'm just going to take this plastic sheet and I'm going to line it up where I want that stamped image to be on my Sizzlets flower, and I think that looks pretty good. I like where that's at. I'm going to take my guide, put that back in the corner of around the sheet, and then I'm going to remove that sheet and put it out of the way, and then I'm going to ink my flower back up. Make sure it's got plenty of ink on it because it's mostly a solid image. And then I'm going to take my clear mount block again, stick it in the corner of that guide, come straight down, and I just hold it and press for just a few seconds, let that ink soak into that cardstock really well, lift it straight back up, and voila, I have my flower on my Sizzlet flower. And no cutting was required. And it has the nice little white edges around the flower petals that I like to leave when I cut around the flower. And thanks again for visiting Ink Heaven, and please come back.